a few years back in one of my posts, I mentioned a movie, The Grapes of Wrath. I said that describes our life whenever we were very, very young. Uh, we were poor. Actually, this is when Mom and Daddy got married. They got married in 1935. Because there was a drought here in Oklahoma and jobs were scarce, and they heard a lot of people going to Arizona and California and finding work. So they got married one night, and the next day they loaded up the vehicle and headed for Arizona. The poverty was real, and I'm grateful for growing up in poverty. It taught me a lot of things. I'm not afraid of hard work, and I know that God comes through for people who really, really need Him. And I'm reminded of what Paul said in Philippians 4:11. He said, "Not that I was ever in need, for I have learned how to get along happily, whether I have much or little. I know how to live on almost nothing or with everything. I have learned the secret of living in every situation, whether it is with a full stomach or empty, with plenty or little." So that's what we learned. We learned how to get by on hardly nothing. Nice things were for other people. We were instructed not to want. So nice things were for other people, not us. It was almost like we were slaves because we had a poor life, a real poor life. But God supplied all our needs, which was love. We had all the love that we needed. And Mom and Daddy worked hard to put food on the table. And all of us kids, when we got old enough to walk, went to the cotton patch with them and helped make a living. And this was the way of life for all of us until we got old enough to move away from home, basically. But it was a good life. And I'm reminded all the time that God will supply all our needs from His riches and glory. So whenever things get pretty rough, I can just be content and wait. And I think that's what God is saying to me in Psalms 46:10, when He says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted in all the nations, and I will be exalted in the earth." So be still means wait. Just wait. Your time is coming. I feel like my time is coming, but not here on earth. I think I'll have to wait till I get to heaven. But I can do that because God's grace is sufficient to get me through anything. He taught me that through cancer and reminded me from 2 Corinthians 12:9 when He said, "My grace is sufficient for you." And so that's how I live from day to day, on God's grace, which is always sufficient for me.